Hello, and welcome to the My Top 10 Games podcast, the show where guests are brought on to discuss their top 10 games of all time. I'm your host, Ben, also known online as Dropped Ice Cream. And today's guest, we have the upcoming YouTube sensation, Jack Rust. Hello, Jack.
You alright, mate? How you doing? It's lovely to
D-
hear your voice.
Thank you. It's good to hear my voice as well. Um, so, out of everyone I've had on this show, probably with you, I have the least amount of knowledge to go off with in
Yeah.
terms of what you like. So I'm quite intrigued. But firstly, let's discuss what consoles have you played, or like the timeline of your gaming.
Um, so I've been like a sort of basic white bitch in the sense that I've just sort of
Uh huh.
stuck to PlayStation
Right.
a lot.
You've been
So
loyal.
yeah, I have. I've been very loyal. My first console was a PS2.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I absolutely loved it. And then obviously PS3, PS4. I got a Wii, which I was quite happy with because I got to play like Guitar Hero and stuff on it.
Yeah.
Um, I had in terms of like the handhelds, I had a PSP.
Oh, really?
Um,
I think you're the first person on here who's had one of those.
it was it was a bit
It
it was up and
it
down.
looked
Like
yeah. I
there were all right games on it, but it
mm-hmm.
wasn't the best.
It's sort of you. I mean, it's easy to compare it to the DS at the time
Yeah,
when
yeah,
Nintendo nailed it with the games they had on it. Obviously, just Mario's a given. Where the
I think
PSPs I mean, it was a lot of Japanese games on there. So
yeah,
if you're
yeah.
into a lot of like JRPGs and type, then you were good to go.
I mean, I had a game called SOCOM on it. It was like a special forces like game thing.
Right.
Um, I mean that was all right, but the controls in it are so clunky. They're so horrible, and
Yeah.
there's just there's no feedback on it
Right.
whatsoever. Um, but yeah, I also had the original Game Boy,
Mhm.
which I adored. I only had one game on it though. I only had Tetris.
What more
Um,
do you need?
yeah, what more do you need? I had the GBA as well, which was
Really?
yeah, it was quite fun and cheap. I got the I think it was the Game Boy Advance SP as well. I think the SP was the like the flip up. It had like
Right.
a flip up one. I can't remember fully,
Yeah.
but yeah, it looked like a flip phone. Um, and I also had a DS.
Just a regular old DS.
Just a regular old DS. I didn't wanna sod about with, the 3DS or whatever came after.
Yeah.
I was happy with that, but I've also played, like, GameCube. I played, on a Genesis.
Mhm.
Um, I wanted to get was it they re-released the SNES? It was like they did, like, a classic
Oh, what you mean
SNES or
quite
something.
recently?
Yeah, it was really
Yeah, yeah.
recent. I wanted to get my hands on one of them, I just never got around to it.
Mm.
But the game choice on it seemed really fun. Like it was all really sort of nostalgia baiting.
Yeah, and it has the old, I think the classic controllers, but they're wireless now.
Yeah, yeah. It looked good. I mean, from the reviews that I've seen, it wasn't terrible. People seem to really like it, but obviously it's a case of you can't beat the original. Like I think
Oh,
that's what
yeah, of
annoyed a lot
course.
of people. Um, but yeah, that's my console history.
Alright.
As I
You,
said,
never
just
played,
quite
like,
basic.
PC?
Uh, I I I didn't wanna mention PC because it was like I had like a PC and I had it for maybe 6 months.
Right.
I just it's not that I didn't get to grips with it, I absolutely, like, adored it, but, the the Wi-Fi, it wasn't on a wide connection, it was I used to play through Wi-Fi and it was horrendous. It was,
Right. Oh,
um
yeah.
like, if I wanted to I think I played, like, I really got into Fallout 4 on it.
Mhm.
and the going through the Nexus to get mods and that on the connection that I had was just it was horrible. So
I
I
was about to
just
say, I
sort of
don't think that's online, but yeah, they're trying to get all those mods.
yeah, it was trying to like get through it was horrible because the base game is a bit, naff.
I mean,
Um,
I love the game, but that's going off of my 200 mods that I have installed, so it's like, is it the game anymore?
it is yeah, I think with the add-ons it's an amazing game, but
Yeah.
as a base game, it's a bit,
Yeah.
it's a bit off. But yeah,
Mhm.
like, trying to sort of make it better with mods isn't the best thing to do if you're on a wireless bad connection.
Right.
So yeah, I ended up selling my PC um, for
Fair
a little
enough.
bit more than it was worth. I was very happy with that.
You made profit.
I made profit. I lied about how good it
Yeah.
was. But yeah,
Alright.
that's me with consoles and that.
Yeah. So next we have 2 honourable mentions. So, like I've said before, these aren't necessarily what would be number 11 and 12 on your list, but they're more things that have had, uh, an impact on your life.
Yeah.
So, go ahead.
So my first honorable mention
Mhm.
um, would have to be FIFA 2003.
That
Um,
that's very specific.
yeah. So FIFA 2003 um, was one of the first games that I ever played,
Mhm.
um, along with Road Rage, Simpsons Road Rage, when
Oof.
I
Yeah.
when I first got my PS2,
Yeah.
and I was terrible at it. I was horrific
Mhm.
at the game, and it was, as far as I know, it was the last FIFA game that let you play a full 90-minute match because
Jesus.
I think from 2004 onwards, they slotted it down to you could only play like 10 or 15 minutes. I don't play FIFA
I've never
anymore because
played a FIFA and have no interest, so,
it's
whatever you're saying, I'll
you're
take your word for it.
you're not missing much. Um, I think the last FIFA game I played was like that I bought myself. I think it was maybe like 12 or 13, so it's been a long
Right.
time. But FIFA 2003 was like it introduced me to like sports gaming
Yeah.
and I at the time I felt like I had to enjoy football because it was
Mhm. I was the same in school. I mean, all my friends loved it and my dad loved it, so I was like, "Oh, I guess
yeah. I mean
I'll do it."
I mean like I grew up in like East London and that, and there's like a
Ah,
big football culture there, and
yeah.
it's just it didn't really interest me. I didn't really like watching it on the telly, and
Yeah, same.
so I thought, oh, like I don't even know how I got it. I think well, my mum must have bought it for me. It might have come with like the uh, the pack with the PS2. I think it might have been one of the games that came with it
Right.
because I can remember my first 3 games ever being like, yeah, Road Rage, um, uh, FIFA 2003, and the Hulk,
Oh,
which was like a really weird mix.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, FIFA 2003 was just my introduction to sort of being a bit dexterous
Mhm.
on the controller, I guess,
Yeah.
because there's for a dyspraxic kid in 2002, it was complex, like
Right.
the button combos were quite complex, and it was literally only like holding down like R1 and moving an analog stick.
Yeah.
It wasn't very. Thinking back on it, it's nothing, but at the time it was big for me, and uh, I just I have such nostalgia when you hear the guy. I have no idea what his name is, but it's the guy who goes EA Sports.
Oh, yeah.
This
It's in the
game.
game.
I
Of
love
course.
that, and
Oh, yeah.
that's my first ever like introduction to that. And anytime I hear it, it doesn't make me think of like FIFA as a whole. It makes
Right.
me think of that specific game.
Huh.
So yeah, it's I have no idea if it's a good game. I don't know where it ranks on people's lists, but it's got sort of sentimental value to me. I guess that's why it's not.
Yeah.
It's not one of my best games, but it's definitely sort of it means something to me, you know?
I think a lot of kids in the UK especially, FIFA's probably game they're raised on
Mm,
because, I mean, not only is FIFA the best-selling game in the UK every
yeah,
year, which still shocks me, but,
it's
and disgusts
it's the
me.
same game every year.
Um, but, it's just an easy game for parents to be like, "Oh, it's football, there you go."
Yeah.
Like, I don't have to look into what this is.
It, I think it's kind of inoffensive as well.
Yeah.
Um, you've got no worries about, like, there's, like, I don't know, a parent doesn't wanna buy a kid, like, a Call of Duty game.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
there's there's nothing stopping you from buying a football game because you know that there's not gonna be anything in it that's gonna be of any note.
Just you
Um,
wait, 'cause
they're gonna add guns to FIFA
yeah,
25.
I'd buy it.
Do you know what? I might as well.
Yeah.
We'll play together.
Yeah. Alright.
Um,
Uh, any more?
yeah, so my second, like, honorable
Oh,
mention.
I meant on FIFA, but
Oh,
if
on
yeah.
FIFA. FIFA, no, that's literally it.
That's it, yeah.
It's just it's a game that meant a lot to me. It's very sentimental.
Mhm.
Um, I wasn't very good at it, and I I got a secondhand PS2 not too long ago, and I thought, "I've got to buy the game." I bought it. I don't like it anymore. Yeah, there's a very sort of, like,
Yeah,
rose-tinted glasses type thing going on.
yeah.
But yeah, as of its time, it was amazing for me because, like, it made me feel like, you know, gamer.
Alright, so your second honourable mention.
So my second honorable mention, is a game called Smackdown: Here Comes the Pain.
A Smackdown. I haven't
Yeah,
heard that in a long time.
I know. Yeah, so it's a wrestling game from,
It is.
I wanna say 2003 again? That
WWE SmackDown, Here Comes the 2003, yes.
2003. It was the last Smackdown branded game. Um, and it was again, it was from my, like, formation, years as in playing games.
Right.
Um, yeah, it's, I mean, to this day, like, uh, I don't play wrestling games anymore, like, but
Mhm.
it's still fun for me to, like, if I've got a mate over, I'll, like, I'll jump on it with them.
Yeah, I remember also I had a friend with a wrestling game, and it's one of those games where I wasn't into wrestling, but you could still have, like, dumb fun with them.
Oh, yeah, it's so arcadey.
Yeah,
It's, it's really fun. The control scheme's really easy to get into,
right.
um, and it's just fun. Like, it still holds up today, 17 years later, as, like, an amazingly fun game.
Yeah.
Um, there's not a lot of people that have a bad thing to say about it. Um, there was rumors that it was gonna get, like, a remaster by its original, publisher. I think Ukes, I think.
Ukes is yeah.
Because I think THQ published it, but they
Mhm.
obviously went into liquidation. Um, so yeah, I think if they made a remaster, I would be the first one to, pick it up because it's
Yeah,
such a good game.
WWE games have gone sort of all over the place. Some
Um,
years they get it right, some years it's a just complete,
I
uh
I picked up, what it's 2K that does it now, I think.
mhm,
I picked up 2K19, and
right.
it was alright, it's a
Got the
not
job
it's not
done.
got the job done, but, I was like, "Oh, it it looks good, so I might pick up 2K20." And, before I picked up 2K20, I looked at the reviews for it, and they are just crushing. They the amount of glitches that were involved with that game.
I mean, when you try and shovel out a game yearly, and I'm guessing they don't give them the enough resources, they're just pushing out
No.
unfinished games.
I think they reuse animations from, like,
Oh, yeah, I can
the
imagine, yeah.
last decade, and it just, at least with, I guess, like, I don't know, at least with FIFA, you can tell the difference between FIFA 2003 and whatever game they're on
Right.
now,
Yeah.
you know? Um, because it looks different. Whereas as with wrestling games, I guess they don't evolve because there's not that much interest in them.
They don't have
Um,
EA behind them, basically.
they don't have EA behind them. But that's the thing. Even with I think 2K develop them now, and 2K
Mhm.
is a big developer because
Well, yeah,
they do the NBA games, didn't they?
yeah,
Um, they I don't think there's like much of an excuse for them to be as bad as they do, and to have a company, sorry, like a dev team that's 17 years older than them, I
yeah.
think that's right, do a better job. I don't think that's like I think that's pretty inexcusable.
Oh,
Um,
yeah. They just need, like, a clean slate, basically, and start over, give themselves a few years.
I think they need to like just stop doing the yearly releases.
Oh, definitely.
I think they should just. It's the same with any like yearly release game.
Mhm.
They just. I would much rather, yeah, update the game that you've released, but
Yeah,
stop
it seems like
doing.
a lot of companies have adapted to that except for sports games, because
Yeah,
obviously Call of Duty, has now got, like, a three-year cycle between the different studios that make it.
yeah.
Um, Assassin's Creed used to be yearly, and now it's, like, every 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what was the gap between Odyssey and this new one. It was like 2 years, I think, wasn't it? 2 or
Yeah, I
3
think
years,
so.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I think that's the right thing, and that's not to say that the company can't release games in between,
mm,
but just take time off. Update the game that you've got while working on like a new IP, you know? It's there's a game that I've got in my list that does that, you know, and it's worked, like, wonders for them,
yeah.
you know? So, like, I don't see the point in doing a yearly release because you get burnt out. I think the fan base will get like burnt out in the end as well.
Oh, definitely. No, I
Um,
think that's a good segue to getting onto the list.
that is a good segue. I was
So,
quite happy with that.
yeah. So, let's start with number 10.
So number 10 for me is Call of Duty World at War,
Ah.
which
Now, I guess I'll have to ask, on the PlayStation 2 or
PlayStation 3,
3? Okay, because they
because
were slightly
they're two
different.
different games. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, PlayStation 3's World at War for me was like it wasn't my first Call of Duty experience,
Right.
but it was, like, the most kinda brutal, I think, for me
Oh,
at the
yeah.
time. I think was it 2008? I think that was World at War.
Yes.
Um, it had, you know, dismemberment features, it had,
I mean, the
um
opening of the game, I remember asking my parents, "Could I have World at War?"
mm.
And they went and got it. And it was at the age where the PlayStation was hooked up to, like, the family's TV. And the very first mission is where you're in the, like,
Young gets
Japanese
tied up,
camp,
yeah, and he's
and
got the
g
sword.
yeah, and he just slits that guy's throat, and I was like,
Doesn't he,
"Oh,
like
no."
he, like, gets his cigar and, like, puts it out on the
Yeah.
guy's face? Yeah, I can imagine that being quite a shock for, like, a
Yeah.
family to watch. No, what World at War was just, it had, like, a strangely, like, huge cast as well, like, big name cast because they had,
Yeah.
Kiefer Sutherland, they had Gary Oldman.
Mhm.
I mean, Gary Oldman on his own, that's a massive, like,
And he was in
acquisition.
Black Ops.
He was Reznov
Reznov. Mhm.
in Black Ops, and, I
I don't
did
think he was
he
in 2.
he
Uh,
wasn't in Black
I
Ops.
actually can't remember.
He might have been in, like, flashbacks, I can't remember,
Yeah.
but, like, they're all in the same that's the same continuity, isn't it? World at
Yeah.
War, and that's like World at War is part of the Black Ops continuity, so,
Mhm.
yeah, I think it probably wasn't the best game out of that sort of, I guess, what do you call it, like, saga, um,
Right.
but it was, like, the best one I played. I genuinely think World at War is, like, one of the best, pardon me, sorry.
So are you is he, like, thinking about the game as a whole or the campaign, the zombies, like
I was never like, when I was growing up, I didn't have access to online,
right.
so my, um, like, gaming experience was sort of um, stuck down to the campaign and
Yeah.
zombies, and I think, don't quote me on it, but I think that World at War was the first Call of Duty game to include bots so that you could play local multiplayer with bots.
Um, I don't know that one actually.
I think
Yeah.
I can't remember very well, but I think that was the case, and it was my first, if I'm getting it right, I think it was. But
Mhm.
if I'm getting it right, I might not be getting it right. Um, it was like my first like exposure to kind of multiplayer gameplay that wasn't tied
Right.
down by the campaign. It's all kind of, free flowing and that.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, like down to the campaign, it was a very, I think it's a strong campaign.
Oh, no, it's great.
I
I
think it's
remember,
iconic.
doing the co-op with friends around their house.
Yeah, yeah, that was fun because I'd be quite happy when it's like you turn around and you're like, oh, that's the main character. Oh, that's what he looks like. He looks really
Yeah.
generic. And I remember I got like this really specific memory um, where I'd uh, I'd read online that there was a way to get the ray gun in the
Mhm.
first, not the first, the second mission where
Yeah,
you're storming the beach and you have to
I
go,
remember that.
you have to go in like the different holes in a certain order and
Right.
that. And I had mates well I did probably, I think I was still in primary school.
Mhm.
I think I can't remember. No, whatever it was, I can't remember. Um, I had my little flip phone with my little camera on the back of it that, one of the first ones that were,
Yeah.
like, recording video, and they were like, "How'd you do it?" And I'm like, "Don't worry, I'll show you tomorrow." I'd go home and, like, try and play the game with one, like, finger on the analog sticks, like, one hand on the analog sticks, and then, like, trying to, like, record this really shaky flip phone footage
Yeah.
and, like, go in and, like, I had a few people huddled around me, and I'm standing there like, "Yeah, I'm like, the proto gaming YouTuber. Look what I can do."
I miss that era where games, if, like, you and all your friends had the same game,
Mm.
secrets like that would you instead of finding them online, you would each tell each other and,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
figure it out.
it was kind of community based rather than like
Day
in,
1, immediately there's
exactly, yeah.
thousands of videos telling you how to do it.
And you didn't really have people sort of going in game files and looking up
Mm.
stuff. Um, yeah, no, it was a fun game, and obviously it was the first Call of Duty game with zombies.
Yeah, and God knows how much time I spent with that.
Um, yeah, it was. What was the map name? It wasn't. Was it the
Which one?
the base zombies map?
Oh,
It wasn't Kino.
Untoten, something like that? Kino Unto
Was
no,
it?
that's the Black Ops 1 one. Um,
Hang on, I'll look it up, one sec. World at War
can't believe I forgot when I played it so
yeah,
much.
map. It was
Nakto
Natsuko
Untoten.
and Koten. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, Night of the Undead, I think, if my
yeah.
German's right. Yeah, that's, that's what kicked it off, and the lore that's in it now is it's, like, mind-boggling if you
I
don't
used to
follow it.
follow it, and now it just got to the point where it was too much.
I hopped back into it on Black Ops 2,
Mhm.
with a mate, and oh my god, I just was so lost because they were like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you've got to get this perk and then run to there and put this generator on and then do that." I'm like, "How do you remember all of this?" And then this character, this happened to him, and that, and she's doing that to him because of this, and I'm like, I'm not sure that I care at this
Yeah,
point. Like,
you sort of lost me
it's
now.
yeah, like it's fun gameplay, but I don't know where it's gone. Um, yeah, I think World at War was probably the most gruesome, as I said, like, the most gruesome Call of Duty game.
Yeah,
Um,
I've heard the later Treyarch game, like Black Ops 3, I think, had some pretty gruesome moments, but yeah,
I
I
think
mean, I haven't played the campaigns in a while now.
Black Ops 3, as far as I remember, I think was all based around, like, you've got like some chip in your head, and they were trying to do this like really story.
I don't know, I've heard it sort of broke away from the Black Ops storyline quite a bit.
Yeah, it's like set way in the future, but it's got nothing. It's got like a little bit to do with it because it's got like I don't know if you remember the Black Ops campaign being about like this gas that
Mhm.
they were trying to release and stuff. And I think
The numbers, Mason.
the numbers Mason. Um, uh, yeah, I think it was like about the gas, but there was no characters coming back as far as I can remember
Right.
from the original games. But yeah, obviously World at War kicked that whole thing off, and it's like a really kind of difficult thing to say, oh, do I like the Modern Warfare trilogy better than I like the World at War Black Ops
Yeah.
thing? And I think that World of War just and Black Ops just edge it out.
Mhm.
Um, Apart from Black Ops 4, we don't talk about Black Ops 4. Um, I think Modern Warfare 3 let that trilogy down a little bit. So I think
It's definitely the weakest, yeah.
yeah. So I think that World at War and its, subsequent games sort of
It's
just
strange
edge it
'cause,
out.
World War II games were, like, a big thing, and then they phased out,
Yeah.
and companies recently have tried to bring it back, but I
Yeah, I
don't
mean
it's like people don't seem to want it, where, you had the Call of Duty World War II,
yeah.
didn't do very well, I don't well, as a Call of Duty game.
As a ga yeah, in comparison, it didn't do very
And,
well.
Battlefield
No,
War
Battlefield 5.
yeah, 5 was World War II, and obviously that's gone
Well,
down the shitter.
I mean, that's dying now. They're
They've
releasing their
cut
last
yeah,
update.
mhm.
I mean, I hopped on Battlefield 5, like, I play it every now and again, like, my best mate, and
It's not bad.
it's no, it's not terrible, but it's just not I don't find it fun
Yeah,
anymore because I think the player base and plus, like, Battlefield is obviously it's a different beast to Call of Duty.
mhm.
It's a lot slower, um, but even, like, World War II, like Call of Duty World War II, I didn't find that fun at all,
Yeah,
at
I mean,
all.
it's either down to just them not being bad games, plus just people don't really wanna buy World War II games as much anymore.
I think, yeah, the market sort of went, like I appreciate what Battlefield 1 tried to do because I mean, I'd actually been, like, clamoring for, like, a World War One game because it was, like, a time period that hadn't been, uh, looked at a lot,
Yeah,
and I was really looking forward to it, but it's just disappointing, and I think that's the problem with a lot of, like, shooters now that are trying to, like, be like historical shooters, that they're just not fun. I think what pissed a lot of people off with, World War II and Battlefield 5 was, like, it sounds stupid to say that there's historical inaccuracies in a game, but at least with, like, World at War, um, they kinda tried to stay true
it
to
embraces the era
yeah,
where, uh, Battlefield 1 felt like a World War II game to me,
yeah,
and
and it's
Battlefield 5 felt like a modern
yeah,
shooter with yes, it's weird.
so it was I just appreciate World I appreciate World at War a lot more than any of, like, the more modern World War II games. I think
Yeah,
they just hit it on the head, and
yeah,
they did a
definitely.
really good job, and it just yeah, I think it's a game that means a lot to a lot of people because I know that a few people, it's probably one of the first games the first, Call of Duty games that they played,
Yeah,
um, you know? I mean, like, mine I think my first Call of Duty was, like, maybe Call of Duty 2 or 3.
right.
And World War II well, God in heaven, World at War, um, is just a different beast. It's like nice fluid gameplay for the time, and it looked amazing for the time as well.
Oh, yeah, the jump between Call of Duty 3 and then World at War is huge.
Yeah, it's and I'm so glad that in World at War they didn't make you use the bloody, um, the motion controls on a PlayStation controller. God.
Wait, were those a thing on the old ones?
Uh, so I play my first when I played Call of Duty 3, I played it on PS3. because
Right.
they released it on PS3, and they get you to use the motion controls on the PS3 controller to,
Ew.
like, row a boat, and you can't switch it off, and, oh, it's vomit inducing because it's just not it
Yeah,
doesn't work.
it's not designed for that.
'Cause, like, they went for, like, a fad where it was everything needed to be motion control because the Wii came out and
Right.
and yeah, and World of War just goes, "No, no, you're using the controller for what it's meant to be used for. We're not gonna make you do anything else." So I appreciated that.
Yeah. All right. I think next we'll go on to number 9.
Number 9, would be Journey for me.
Oh, I haven't played that, but it's on my list for so long of stuff to play.
It was the when I got my PlayStation 4,
Mhm.
um, it came with the PlayStation 4, um, and, uh, I'm not sure if it was pre-installed or if it had like it had a code or whatever.
Right.
Um, it's just, it downloaded very, very quickly, and you could play it while there were other features initializing on the PlayStation. So I played it, and I think it was originally a PS3 game,
Yes, it was.
but obviously PS4, it's more graphically intense, and there's more that you can do with it.
Mhm. Yeah,
It's
I mean,
just
so how story heavy is it? Like, I can't even tell what the game is.
it's like, um story-wise, it's like you have to piece what's going on
Right, so it's
together
not just
yourself.
a narrative, like, here's what's happening.
No, no, it's like it's very it's not it's like ambiguous and not ambiguous at the same time, and it's difficult to like, you
Uh-huh.
basically oh god, so you play as this thing,
Right.
um, like, and it's traveling around this, like, broken civilization,
Mhm.
and it's got it's got, like, uh um, like a sash that goes on the back of its robes, and the longer the sash is, and you is that's like I think that's basically what equates to the level up system.
Mhm.
You play through the campaign, the story, and the sash gets longer, and it means that you can like jump and float for longer, and it's all like that, and it's I guess you call it like a platformer. So the longer this sash gets, the easier it gets to traverse, and you can reach places that you couldn't before. And
Right, 'ca I mean, I've heard loads of people say it's amazing, so,
it's one of them things that I can't tell you why
yeah.
it's amazing. It was like I think it's a personal experience for quite a few different people.
Mhm.
It's also got this. It had this really cool feature, and it was the first time I ever experienced it. It's like a drop in, drop out thing. So other players can join your game, and you get
Oh,
matched
really?
up with other players, and you can't communicate through words to the other players.
Right.
You communicate through um like musical notes, and there's
Uh-huh.
like a dedicated button for it.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but it's really charming, and it feels very personal, except it's not, and it's there's a scene in the game where like you've gone through, you know, all this thing, and you're trying to make the whole game you're trying to make it to this mountain where there's a light, right?
Right.
Um, and you're trying to get up there, and you go through sand bits. It is a beautiful game.
I love visual storytelling. I mean,
Yeah,
some of my favorite games are games that don't even have any dialogue, it's just
yeah.
walking through a landscape.
Um, there's another one of them games on the list that I
Ooh.
absolutely love. But yeah, yeah, you go through all these different settings and environments. There's like sand dunes,
Yeah.
there's like caves, and then you get to this bit where it becomes very difficult to move because there's like it's Blizzard, and you have to time your runs and get behind cover for it's all pretty standard like that. The Blizzard comes through and tries to knock you back, and
Yeah.
you have to stand behind cover in that. Then you get to this point where you're going up a mountain. Now, I've played through Journey once. I never want to pick it up again because it was genuinely a special gaming experience for me, and I
Right.
want I want that to be my only memory of it. Do you know what I
Huh.
mean?
Yeah, I can get that.
You're walking up this mountain, and I was playing with some absolute random guy that I have no idea who it was to this day. I don't know who it was.
Yeah.
You're walking up the mountain, and you you slow down so much, and I think your sash is like getting really small and that, and you're freezing to death,
Right.
and you're getting so close, and you're like, oh, I can make this, and then you're like really willing for it to happen, and then you look round, and the guy that's next to you just starts dying,
Oh god.
and you're like, oh, fuck, like what, I've got to make it up this hill, and you get so far up the hill, and then he slows down even more, and I'm sitting there going, "Oh my god!" I played this in like one playthrough. It was, I think it was like
Yeah.
4 hours. And I'm like, "Oh my god, no! Carry on, carry on, carry on!" And I'm pushing as like hard as I can on the analog stick, and I'm going
Yeah.
up and up, and then you just stop, and you go like, "That's it." Oh my god, the music is special, and
Yeah.
the visuals of it are special, and I got goosebumps when I was playing it, and I have never felt that in another game since.
Hmm.
And it's difficult to explain why it's a good game. It's just a very, I guess it's a personal experience. And there's probably people that will disagree because it's not everyone's cup of tea.
Right,
Um,
yeah.
but I didn't think it would be mine because I'd never played a game like that up until that point. I only played, shooters
Yeah.
and and hack and slashes and that. But yeah, it's one of them games that just sort of holds a special place in my heart.
Yeah, I mean, other than like, I love visual storytelling, but I also love journeys, as it's called, where it's literally the
Yeah,
whole game is walking from one spot to another,
I
and it's
think
just
Journey was developed by, a studio, and
it
I
was
can't
developed by a studio.
it was developed by a studio, it was by, that
Um,
game company,
yes,
um,
that actually called that game co
that
yeah, it
game
was.
company, yeah, and as far as I know, that game company, uh, has a lot of decent games, like, they make games like they made, Flower, I think there was
Yep, they
a
made
game called
Flower,
Flower,
one called
Flow, I think was
yep,
one,
the
um
recent one's called Sky Children of Light. I've not
haven't played that,
played that one. Yeah. It
but
looks the same kind of art
yeah,
style.
it's all very, like, fluid motion based and
Mhm.
visually impressive and that, so they've got their IP sort of sorted. They know
Yeah.
what they're doing, and they know, I think, who their audience is as well.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's just, and I'm pretty sure, that game company is, like, a very small, very, very small dev team.
I mean, by looking at what they made, yeah, I can imagine so. Because it's all they all look like they have the same sort of art style going.
Yeah. But that's the thing, it sort of shows that you don't need to have a AAA game to have an amazing game.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
think that's the takeaway from that game, you know?
Yeah.
Small dev team, amazing experience, um, cheap game.
That's above all cheap.
Cheap. Well, free for me. So yeah,
Alright.
yeah,
So,
Journey.
you're quite a mix so far. So,
I'm
we
quite
from Call of Duty to Journey.
I'm quite happy.
So, now we'll have number 8.
Number 8 is Assassin's Creed 2.
2.
2.
I think a lot of people agree with you
Yeah,
for
my
2.
it's mine and a lot of people's favorite Assassin's Creed game of all time.
Mhm.
Um, it
And very
was
topical at the moment with Valhalla just
but
being
yeah,
announced.
yeah. I don't like the sort of buzz that's surrounding Valhalla at the minute,
Mhm.
because we've only seen a cinematic trailer, and that's not indicative of what the game's actually
And
going to be
everyone's
like.
arguing about it.
Yeah. So I'm not going to comment on like Valhalla like
Yeah.
until I
Same.
see some
I like the
gameplay.
setting, that's about it.
Yeah. Like I think a lot of people wanted a Viking game, and that
Yeah.
was they did good. Um, and it's probably the right time to announce it because everybody's sat in front of their screens.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
but
But
yeah,
yeah,
Assassin's Creed 2, um, just brilliant.
did you play 1 first?
I did, I did.
Because
I
1 was like I've heard it described as a really good tech demo where
yeah,
it's a decent story, and it has, like, the sort of the first attempts of what you think an Assassin's Creed game is, where
it's
it tries to do the sneaking, it tries to do the, like, following people, listening.
it was like because Assassin's Creed came from Prince of Persia,
Yeah.
and Prince of Persia was a decent game series,
Mhm, yeah.
um, and they tried to do. I think the assassin was like a character that was supposed to be in the Prince of Persia games, but they were like, "Oh, we can make a whole different IP out of this," you know.
Oh, I didn't know
I think I think that was the
Right.
case. I just know that it was an offshoot of Prince of Persia. So the original Assassin's Creed, yeah, it was good.
But two's where it ramped up.
Two is just unlike any other game in the series because
It's,
it's just
Ezio, isn't it?
it's Renaissance Italy. It's
Yes.
saying, um, and it's probably the only game out of the whole series where I was satisfied with the modern day aspect of it as well.
Okay, yeah,
Because
with Desmond.
yeah, because the modern day aspect just kind of like it grinds everything to a halt, and you're like, no, I'm not playing this game to be a guy in a tracksuit. I want to, I want to run around and stab
Right.
people while I'm wearing armor.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it did its job well, and that because you start the game off. It's a really weird start. You start the game off by doing like this calibration sequence where you're being born as Ezio, and it's like,
Really? I've not
yeah,
played 2, so
you, it's not a spot. I won't
no,
spoil
no, no,
anything,
it's fine, but you start as a
but
baby.
you start as a baby, and it's like press square to move your left arm, and press X to move your right arm, and
Just like real life.
triangle to cry. Yeah, yeah. I have fond memories of being born like that. Um, but yeah, and it's just a weird intro, and then you immediately are escaping from in have you played the original Assassin's Creed?
No. So I've
No.
played Brotherhood 3 Black Flag.
Yeah.
Um, Maybe I did Revelations? I can't remember.
That was the one set in Turkey, I think.
That was when Ezio was his
Is it quite
oldest.
old? Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's it for me.
Yeah. So like in the original Assassin's Creed, you play as Desmond, and you're
Altai oh, sorry.
yeah. So like you're playing as Desmond, and you're in the Abstergo facility, and you're in the Animus, and
Mhm.
yeah, the start of Assassin's Creed 2, you're running out of that, facility, and you're having a pop at all the guards and that, and then you just get straight into the the Ezio gameplay, and it's fun. It's just
That's all you want.
that, but that is it. Like the original Assassin's Creed was like a slog to get through. Um,
Right.
Assassin's Creed 2 it was fun to work through, and it had a decent story as well. Um, and I've never had so much fun learning about Renaissance Italian history.
Oh, yeah, I mean, especially the older ones, they really went all in with the historical accuracy, I get as accurate as you can
Best you
be,
can get with an Assassin's Creed game, yeah.
and yeah.
Yeah, I mean, with Assassin's Creed 2, like you get like basically like a tour of where do you start? I think it's like um Firenze. Because you are Ezio Auditore da Firenze. So
Yep.
you start in Firenze and that, and you get a tour of it, and it's just very nicely rendered for the time, and Um, yeah, and then you work your way through the city, and there's like a really nice little Mario Easter egg where you meet your uncle, and he literally goes,
Oh, I
um,
see. Yeah.
he just goes, "You don't recognize me?" And he goes, "What?" He goes, "It's a me, Mario." And you're like, "Oh
I've
God."
seen that. It's great.
You're like, "Jesus Christ." And yeah, and it just progresses from there. Like, I don't wanna spoil, like, too much for
Mhm.
you because it's a good game. Like, I guess, like, pick up the Ezio collection because 'cause I'm sure that's going for cheap because 'cause I'm not sure that did too well.
Oh,
Um,
right, yeah.
but yeah, a really decent gameplay
So,
experience.
what puts
Fun.
it above the others for you?
Um, it was like compared comparing the combat to, like, the original Assassin's Creed, it was
Or,
just,
have you played any of the others?
yeah, I
Like,
played all of them.
yeah,
I'm a big Assassin's Creed fanboy, which is a
right.
shame.
Oh,
Um,
that's nothing to be ashamed of. I mean, they had a little down period for sure, but, just
I think
overall, it's
past
been
Black
pretty solid.
Flag, it's not been terrible.
Yeah.
But yeah, what puts it above the other games? Yeah, the combat compared to the original Assassin's Creed is just a lot more free flowing,
Yeah.
and it's still stilted. It's still quite, you know, dodgy.
Mhm.
Um, but it's just leaps and bounds above that. It, the story is like really good as well, and it Assassin's Creed Brotherhood like plays a little bit better, but I think
Right.
the story is a little bit weaker than Assassin's Creed 2, and I genuinely hate the modern day segments in Assassin's Creed Brotherhood.
I can't even remember them.
You're in Monteriggioni at
Oh.
like the Ezio the auditory castle thing.
Oh, yeah.
Um, yeah, and you've got to like go around putting bloody batteries in lights and then going through the sewers as Desmond, and it's just not
Right.
fun. It just really slows everything down.
Yeah.
So whereas with Assassin's Creed 2, you kind of yeah, you played some modern day bits that are like there for the story, but then they're fun and they're brief and
Yeah.
they've worked in quite well. Um, but yeah, I think between Assassin's Creed 2 and Black Flag, I
Mhm.
think it just hit a massive slump. Like, it just wasn't very fun.
I mean, obviously, I haven't played the older ones, so I don't know what I'm going off of, but I think probably 3 is my favorite, or Black Flag. I've seen a lot of people say Black Flag's their favorite, but
Yeah.
it's also, like, how much of Assassin's Creed game is it? Into
Yeah, it's like
like
it's more of like a pirate game, in it. So,
and I know recently I've heard people call them they're just becoming an RPG now, whether I mean,
yeah,
some people like that, some people don't.
I picked up, Odyssey while it was on a
Mhm.
sale, and it was yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of them. Like, if I wanna play an RPG, I'll play an RPG. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Um, you sort of go and play Assassin's Creed to play an Assassin's Creed game. I know that that's kind of a
No,
bit
I get
self-explanatory.
yeah, I know what you're saying.
Um, but yeah, I think that the way they're going with it at the minute isn't the best. Was you got to see what Valhalla does, but I can imagine they're just going down the same path with it being a an RPG knockoff. You know,
Yeah, I
with
mean, I'm interested in because I've also heard Odyssey's map was, like, too big.
oh, Odyssey's map was just it's oh god, it's like unless you unlock fast travel, the sort of
Mhm.
scenery isn't good enough to sort of keep you because all the islands look the same, and
Right.
I'd rather have like a condensed map, or like with what Assassin's Creed 2
Like,
did.
Venice and all that,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was like different bits and pieces of it, rather than I mean, and even Brotherhood did a decent thing because they had Rome that was big, but it wasn't too big.
Yeah.
So you get to know the whole map. Whereas, I mean, I don't think I've got Odyssey installed actually, but the last time I played it, I'd still only gone through like maybe 60% of the map. and
Mhm.
I'd logged a lot of hours in it.
Right.
Even through completing the game, like the
Yeah.
story missions and that. It's just it got to a point where you're like, I don't want to explore anymore because the world's a bit dead. There's not a lot going on. Um, and you could tell with Odyssey as well that the game had been written to play because with Odyssey there's two characters. You've got
Yes.
Cassandra and can't remember the bloke's name. Um, and
It doesn't
I
matter.
it doesn't matter. But I played as I played as the guy in that, but you can tell that it's written for the female character.
Huh.
Um, because I think if you play as the male, then the female character is the antagonist, and if you play as the female, then the male character is the
Oh, cool.
antagonist. The lines are just interchangeable.
Right.
Um, but yeah, I'd rather just focus on one character and just you know
I mean, Ezio is really He's such a likable character.
Oh yeah, he's a scallywag, isn't he?
Yeah,
Like
the scallywag.
he's a scallywag. Um, no, he's like one of the most iconic gaming characters, really.
Mhm.
I think that's like a distinction that's really, really well deserved.
Yeah.
Because I think he's quite well written. He's got like a decent tragic backstory, and that his family are murdered and stuff. So you know,
Yeah.
it's really decent. It's yeah, Assassin's Creed 2 is probably my favorite Assassin's Creed game.
Alright, that's a good choice. So now we'll have number, 6?
Um, 6, yeah, number 6.
6, okay, yeah.
Number 6 would be GTA 4,
Ooh.
from 2008.
Over all the others?
Over,
Oh, okay, continue.
it was the first GTA game that I played,
Mhm.
um, because it was when I could, you know, say, "Oh, that's what I wanna play," and my mum was like, "Yeah, alright, do
She
whatever the
won't
fuck you
question
want."
it, yeah.
Um, but obviously, San Andreas was sort of notorious at the time, and,
Mhm.
yeah, GTA 4 was like the first. Yeah, it was the first GTA game that I played, and I think it's just there's probably a bit of, like, nostalgia there that and, like, again, like, rose-tinted glasses that
Yeah,
makes it
sure.
a lot better for me, but, it's it's fun. It was fun. It was, yeah, it was kinda gritty. It didn't look like any other GTA game that had come out, um, plus this sounds really silly, but it was set in a city, like a really, like, dirty, dingy city that had a lot of,
Liberty
like,
City, was it?
Liberty City, yeah. So it's like basically New York,
Right.
and it was set in, like, a really, um, horrible city, and you had all, like, slums and that,
Yeah.
and it I identify with it a little bit because where I grew up wasn't a very nice place and that, and it was, like,
Right.
kinda dodgy and
Hmm.
that, and
Yeah.
it was nice to have, like, something like that put on a game that
Yeah.
and it wasn't, like in San Andreas, that's basically like, California, where it's like,
Mhm.
palm trees and that, whereas this was, estate buildings and stuff and, dirt on the streets and that. That was a really not nice thing to play in,
I know what you're getting at, yeah.
kinda mirrored
Mhm.
the sort of state that,
You lived
like,
in the
where I
hood.
live. Yeah, I lived in the hood, you see. Okay, um Um, yeah, no, like, so it was fun. It was fun to play that, and it had, like, a load of memorable characters, like, you had Nico, you had Ronan, um, you had, Brucey, who was another really good character there.
I mean, I
Um,
think, everyone who I've had on so far has named a GTA game.
yeah.
Just I mean, Rockstar, you know what you're getting with one of their games.
Oh, they
And
just they just bang out hits, didn't they?
oh, yeah. I mean, still to this day.
With, Red Dead 2, it's, they know what they're doing, and that's kind of few and far between, it seems, with, um game developers at the minute, and it shows you how far it goes back that they knew what
Yeah.
they were doing.
Did you
Um,
play San Andreas
I
or
did,
yeah?
I did. I played San Andreas, I played Vice City, and
That's the other
3.
one, yeah.
I played 3 as well.
Mm. So there's a big leap from 3, definitely.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like 3 was like because it went 3 Vice City, I think yeah, 3 Vice City San Andreas, and then uh, I think you had like Liberty City Stories in the middle of it, but I think that was like a handheld game. Um,
I can't remember.
I think it was like a PSP game.
Yeah,
Um, I think you had Vice City Stories as well, and then yeah, you had GTA 4, and it's not the most graphically like pleasing game, uh,
right.
but it's got its charm. The cars handle like absolute dog shit. Um, they are terrible to handle. Um,
It was a fun sandbox, basically,
yeah,
where, you know, even if it's a bit jank in places, you can still just go wild and do whatever you want.
yeah, you kind of immerse yourself in it, which is quite nice.
Yeah.
Um, the you know, it's just it was there wasn't 2008 isn't a very memorable year for like games, I don't think,
Um,
and I don't think
hang on.
like I think World at War came out in 2008, and I can't think of another game that
Spore.
I Spore.
um, yeah, Fallout 3,
Yeah, was
Gears of
that
War 2.
was that 2008?
Yeah,
Oh wow, I thought it was like '07.
it doesn't look 2008. Yeah. Um,
Spore, Spore.
Spore, that's all you need, yeah.
um, sorry. Yeah, no. For me, at least, I don't remember a lot of 2008 for anything, let alone games. Um, so that was probably like the highlight of the year for me.
Right.
Yeah, like it was my first open world game. Um, it was my first sort of game where you had people. The dialogue was like written in a way that people would actually talk.
Oh, yeah, Rockstar are great at that.
It was obviously there's like the parody thing of like they parody America and stuff, but
Yeah.
they would sort of every other word was like a swear word, and that's at least what I grew up around because
Right.
it's just the way that people talk.
Yeah.
Um, and it was nice to have that on a game. And then obviously the annoying thing was like like every 10 minutes you'd have like Roman calling you up and saying let's go bowling, cousin, let's
Just
go
like your
bowling.
childhood.
Yeah, just like my childhood. They used to. All my family are Russian, and yeah, yeah. And then with GTA 4, you also had the add-ons. You had the Lost and Damned, which was a very nice add-on. Let
Right.
you play as biker gang.
Mhm.
And you had what was the other one? The Ballad of Gay Tony. That was a good
Yeah,
one as well.
yeah.
And they're characters that came into GTA 5 as well. Like um,
Yeah, very briefly, but they were in it.
I think Gay Tony is
Is he one of the
um,
gang members Trevor kills?
no, Gay Tony is in GTA Online. He's
Oh,
the
I wouldn't probably know then.
he's like when you buy a club or something, he like turns up, and then
Hmm.
Johnny Klebitz, who's the protagonist of Lost and Damned, is the one that Trevor kills
Ah,
because he's
right.
like shagging his girlfriend,
Yeah.
and then takes him out, and then like stamps on his head and calls him some
Yeah.
very nice words. Um, and like I'm not being funny, you know me, and I swear a lot, and I'm doing my best to
Yep.
not swear
I
a lot
appreciate
on
it.
this. um, but yeah, like yeah, kind of. I guess the characters sort of work nicely going forward, and they all kind of intertwine as well because there's certain missions where those characters turn up,
Yeah.
and then you play it from Nico's perspective, then you play it from Luis, I think his name was, his perspective, and then you play it from Johnny's perspective,
Hmm.
and it's all quite fun to kind of go back and forth between the three characters, and that's like I guess the sort of proto GTA 5 type thing.
Yeah, I was about to say that sounds oddly familiar.
It's just whereas GTA 5 is all in one game. Obviously, they're in like
Yeah.
three separate packs. But yeah, GTA 4 was it was fun. There's like it's one of them games where it doesn't seem. I don't think there's like a lot more to say about it.
I mean, everyone knows a GTA game. I mean,
Yeah,
GTA 5 to this day is still some of like the best-selling game every month, which is
yeah,
insane because it was like 2013 or something it came out.
so,
But
yeah,
yeah.
2015, yeah, and I mean that's across two console generations as well.
Mhm. That's soon
Yeah,
to who knows, it might be 3. I
I
wouldn't be
hope
surprised.
not.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they announced that they were developing GTA 6. I think,
They just said it's a long way off.
yeah, but they said it is in the works. So like,
Yeah.
um, I'm genuinely interested to see what they'll do. Like, I really hope that they'll like have like we said about like Odyssey, like the map being too big.
Mhm.
I think I don't mind that in GTA games.
5 was a good size,
Yeah, it was
but it was
huge.
fun to cruise around.
I think the problem is like with a game like Odyssey is that you can't get around that map very fast.
Yeah.
Whereas obviously with GTA 5,
When you
you're
unlock, like, a supercar,
yeah, and
it's so
planes and
satisfying,
that,
yeah.
you get around everywhere. And the modding community on GTA 5 is huge as well, which is quite, playing with mods on GTA 5 is really fun.
Yeah.
Even playing mods on GTA 4 was really fun. But yeah, I like GTA 4 probably a tiny bit more than GTA 5 because it was just a bit grittier, I guess, and
No, it
a little
definitely
bit more
was.
serious.
Yeah.
Um, and there were bits where it felt like a film, you know.
Right.
And being a film student, I don't know if I can
Oh,
call
yeah.
I don't know if we can call ourselves that anymore.
We we film some we have a camera.
Being a film student, I really appreciate the art.
Mhm.
Um, no, yeah, it was a fun game, but
Yeah.
I guess that's as much as I can say about it because there wasn't a lot else to it. Fun
No,
game,
yeah.
good story, gritty.
There you go. Okay. We're halfway there.
Halfway there. It's only
Living
been
on a
about 2
prayer.
hours.
It's only yeah. So, number 5.
Number 5 for me is Mass Effect 2.
Now, this is very topical because I'm currently playing it for the first time on twitch.tv/droppedicecream. So don't spoil the ending or anything, but
I
yeah,
will not. I will not spoil anything about the game.
thank you.
I'll keep it brief,
Mhm.
so that if anybody wants to know anything about it, they can just watch your streams.
There you go.
Um, Mass Effect 2, how much have you played of it?
I'm still getting a crew together.
Okay.
Um, I just got Jack, who's the woman who wears very
Yeah.
little.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I love Jack.
there you go. That's the point I'm at.
Um, yeah, Romance Jack, you'll love it.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Um, did you play the original one?
Yeah, so a few weeks ago, I played the first,
Yeah.
and so now I'm the second.
Um, I like Mass Effect 2. I'm trying to think of what to say without going into depth. I like Mass Effect 2 because I think the gameplay is more fun.
Oh, definitely. Like, the first one, I loved the story. The gameplay was just a nightmare at times.
What's the car in the first one called?
The Mako.
The Mako. The Mako is one of the worst things
It is
in the whole of gaming.
it's like a balloon where if you go over a slight ramp, you're floating up.
Yeah, you're gone. Um, Mass Effect 2, the story is solid, the characterization is solid.
Mhm.
It's just it's just one of the best games of all time. It genuinely is, and like you'll really have fun playing it.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
there's like the the relationships between the characters are genuinely believable.
Yeah.
Um, are you playing male shepherd or female shepherd?
I'm female shepherd.
Female shepherd, yeah. I found because I played through it like 3 or 4 times.
Fair
Um,
enough.
I found that female shepherd was better to play as over like male shepherd.
Hmm.
Because
'Cause I've been asking people what do they do for their first time, and I think everyone said male shepherd so far.
I I played male shepherd first time,
Mhm.
and then on my second playthrough, I played female, and past that point, I played female.
Right.
Uh, it it's fun because I think she's the I don't know who the voice actress is, but I think she's the better voice actor out of the 2.
It's a very male shepherd has a very distinctive voice.
Well, he's very
He's very
American,
monotone and yeah.
and he just sort of speaks a bit like that. And, and then with the female shepherd, she's kinda got, like, inflection to her voice. There's, like, a lot of
Jennifer
intonation.
Hale, her
Jennifer
name is.
Howell. Yeah, really, really good voice acting, I think.
Mhm.
Um, for the type of game, that's what I'd say, because it's a
Right.
big, big game.
Yeah.
Um, and you find that with, like, a lot of games like that, they usually reuse voice actors for, different parts in the same game.
Mhm.
Um, like, there was that really was it? I think it was in Oblivion.
Oh
Like,
god.
they're
It's
just
like
so
5 voice actors.
yeah, but, like, there's I'm pretty sure there's, like, one character in Oblivion that you can go to where she'll stop. I think it was like, "Somebody's broken into the arcane." No, that's not right. Flip, flip, flip,
Yep.
flip. Okay, we'll go again. "Somebody's broken into," and you're like, "Oh my god, that's so bad."
And,
Like,
have you heard Todd Howard's, character?
no, what one's
He,
it?
he's just some random character, but as he's talking, you can hear, like, the buzzing in the background of, like, the studio. It it's brilliant.
What was the o is there's a, I used to be an adventurer like you,
Like,
but then I took
that's
an arrow to the
Skyrim.
knee. Oh, was that Skyrim? My
Yeah.
bad, my bad. They kind of yeah, my bad. But, oh, who was the I'm on a tangent, but who was the was it the adoring fan from Oblivion?
I'm not sure.
I think it was. It was like there was a huge thing around because you play in the arena in Oblivion.
Yeah.
I think if you become the champion, you get the adoring fan, and the thing follows you around everywhere. And it's like, "Oh, master, I'll carry your stuff on
Yeah.
you." And then there was just this whole
The little yellow hair,
yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
yeah.
It was this like whole community around like finding creative ways to kill him, and there was one where it was like, like firing an arrow at him off a cliff and that. But yeah, back to Mass Effect 2. Um,
It's not like that.
yeah, it's not like that. In comparison, I think it's like a really well handled game,
Mhm.
and you'll find yourself like really immersed in it. Um,
Yeah, I love the world they've made already.
oh, and you're so like, if you're only just building the crew, like you're so early in, it's
Huh.
it's so much better
It
as it
feel
goes along.
because the first game that I've just played, it went by quicker than I expected,
Yeah,
so I wasn't sure how far I actually am in the second.
as far as I can remember, who's in your crew at the minute? You've got Jack.
I've got Jack,
I was
Garrus.
gonna say Garrus is like I love that
I love
mission,
Jack. Mhm.
and I love
Yep.
the mission to get Garrus because that's the you defend him, didn't you?
Yeah.
It's
You're
like
in, like, the
going in
slums of some
yeah,
place and yeah.
oh, the
Um, I got, the Mordin, who's my favorite character now.
is he the scientist?
Yeah.
The with, like,
He
the really
speaks really
skinny one?
quickly,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
and his voice actor's so good.
yeah. Yeah, it's between Garrus and Morden. I like those 2 characters.
Yeah. I mean, getting the crew you can do, I think, in any order.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah, and I
still
think
yeah,
but I think it is kinda linear in who you get, I think.
right.
Um, but yeah, I won't say
Now,
too much about it, obviously.
why over 3? I mean, I've heard most people say second's their favorite, but yeah.
Um, it's just 3 was disappointing based I assume you're gonna play 3.
Mhm, yep.
Um, like, if you managed to stay away from spoilers for this long, like, well done.
Yes, I have.
Uh, I'm not I won't be that person. Um, 3
I I'm well aware that when the game came out, people didn't like the ending.
yeah. Depending on the version that you get, I doubt that you'd play, like, the OG version.
Oh, yeah, it's got, like, a bonus ending, I
Yeah,
believe.
it was genuinely sad that they ended it how they did.
Right.
Um, with, uh, Mass Effect 2, it's satisfying, and it is a very satisfying story.
Uh-huh.
As a player, you feel like you've got agency. You obviously don't, but You
Yeah.
feel like you have a lot of agency over what's going on.
Right.
Um, the side quests are really entertaining and interesting.
Yeah. I mean,
Uh,
the first game side quests were very like the same quest over and over.
yeah, it was with Mass Effect 2 side quests, they were very kind of they fit the world and they did a really decent job of world building
Mhm.
without going on too long.
Yeah.
So you learn about different factions and stuff through it. And uh, the one thing that I'd say that 3 has over 2 though is probably the combat.
Yeah. I'm assuming it gets the gameplay ramps up each time.
Um, yeah, to an extent, because I mean Mass Effect 2 it is kind of clunky.
Mhm.
I don't know if you found that.
Yeah, I mean, it's 2010 the game is, I think,
I
or
think.
something like that.
Are you playing it on
Y
PC or console?
PC.
PC, yeah.
I mean, it just feels like a game of that time
Yeah.
where, it wasn't completely smooth and aiming's a bit slow and all that.
I mean, I'm used to like playing controller over keyboard,
Right.
and even if I played on keyboard with a mouse, it was like a little bit laggy.
Right.
Um, and the load times are a little bit annoying as well.
Yeah.
But it is a good game. It's charming, and yeah, I genuinely think you'll have a lot of fun with it. And I think it'll be like I think you'll enjoy it a lot out of like other games that you'll be playing.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, well, I'm playing it at the moment,
Well,
but
yeah,
yeah.
I mean, like getting through more of it.
Yeah, the first game did a great job of building the world, and I'm assuming this one's a lot more, alright, now you know where this is taking place, here's
Yeah.
a story.
Yeah, it definitely is, like, you have that base knowledge, and it obviously, like, picks you back up a little bit
Yeah.
and, like, reintroduces you 'cause, as far as I know, you wake up with memory loss or something.
You die.
I know you die
Um,
at the end of the first one. Yeah. Do
uh,
you it's been a while since I played it. 'Cause you're in, like, a medical facility, aren't you?
you got rebuilt.
You got oh, okay. I thought you had some sort of memory loss thing. My bad.
No, no.
Okay. Um, all I can remember from the beginning of it is that you're breaking out, like, the hospital, aren't you? Because there's, like, an
Yeah,
attack.
yeah.
Um, yeah, Must it's got I think as far as I can remember, it's got a better beginning than Mass Effect 3 does.
Okay.
Mass Effect 3 kinda just chucks you into things, whereas Mass Effect 2 is like it obviously does chuck you in, but you're kinda guided and it feels a bit
Right.
more kinda personal and, like, down to earth.
Okay.
But yeah, that's all I'll say on Mass Effect 2
I'll
'cause
get
I
back
can't
to you on Mass Effect then, yeah.
I wanna know what you think of it when you finish it.
Yeah. So, next we'll go to number 4.
Number 4 would be Fallout New Vegas.
My favorite Fallout game.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Let's have a good old sesh about this.
Well, I mean, Fallout 4 is my most played Fallout game
Yeah.
just because of it's a lot more modern, the engine, it's
Yeah,
still jank, but it works a
it's
lot
more
better.
accessible.
Mhm. But New Vegas is definitely the best writing.
New Vegas is like the the height for me of like Western RPG because you genuinely can feel like you're part of the world. So whereas like Fallout 4, it's it's a story and you can be a horrendous person, but you've got like a main thing of I must find my son. Um,
Yeah, have you played 3 as well?
I have played 3.
Yeah. They're very much look for a person
They
even if you don't care.
it was that was 3 and 4 were Bethesda,
Bethesda Game Studios, yes, and
and New
uh,
Vegas was Obsidian, wasn't it?
yeah.
I think that's the difference because I
Oh,
think
yeah.
wasn't New Vegas still running on the same engine as 3?
Yeah. So they basically gave Obsidian the engine and was like, "Give us a Fallout game in, like, a year or so."
Yeah, yeah, it had a very, very short,
Mhm.
dev time, but
Yeah.
it was just I love the fact that you can get out of the doctor's office in New Vegas,
Mhm.
and if you want to go away and do your own thing, you can.
Yeah, it's like it's up to you if you wanna get revenge for the guy who shot you in the head
Yeah,
or
you could just, like, leave him alone, you know what I
yeah,
mean? Just side note, he is the worst voice character, one of the worst voice
Benny.
characters, who play it's, Chandler, in it from Friends that plays him.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I can't
I
remember his name.
didn't
Is
know
it
that.
yeah, he's, uh, it's like, "Whoa, baby, just, slow down," and you're like, "Jesus
Yeah.
Christ, shut up, I want to shoot you." Um, but yeah, he's just, I
Matthew
think
Perry.
Matthew Perry, yeah. He, oh, it was I was glad when I got him out of the way, because I genuinely didn't like Benny as a character. Um, but it's like when you get to the strip and you see the king, like, the king is one of my
We
favorite characters in the whole of Fallout.
that's I was about what makes it different? So, like, let's say, Diamond City in Fallout 4, you
Yeah.
get there, you have a chat with a guy on the mic, and you're let in. With New Vegas, it treats you as if you're nobody, and
Yeah,
so
because you genuinely are nobody.
and you can't get in like, there's so many different ways you can get into the strip, with one of them being talking to the king,
Yeah.
and yeah, I love that sort of you're treated as nobody, but you can become whoever you want.
Well, it's like you can spend so much time on the outside of the strip before you're let in,
Yeah,
and I think that's brilliant because it kind of forces you to it doesn't force you, but, like, it gives you, like, a nudge to, like, go and do other things and build up your rep. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're
yeah. You don't
rather
expect to get there and be like, "Oh, I'm not allowed in."
yeah, like, you get there and it's like it puts the brakes on you. You're like, "Oh, I'm this character."
Yeah,
Whereas, like you said with 4, it's like you just you are immediately the most important person in the
mhm,
whole of the wasteland, and it's annoying. And,
yeah.
I think I liked, New Vegas over 4 as well because it wasn't voice acted, like, the protagonist wasn't voice acted.
Yeah, I play with a mod that actually just gets rid of the voice
Oh, okay.
because I really yeah, I don't like that at all.
I just, um and, like, the speech checks as well actually mean something,
The written dialogues are amazing.
you know? I
There's so many, like, you can just find on YouTube, "Oh, here's the best lines in Fallout New Vegas."
yeah, that's the thing. I love the fact in New Vegas that you can come up against the oh, what was his name? He was the
The
legionary.
Oh, yeah, Caesar.
No, it wasn't Caesar, it was the other one with the big metal
The
mask.
Spartan guy.
Do you know the one I'm on about?
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
got, like, the bearded mask and that.
In fact, I've never completed New Vegas because
Oh, have
I
you not? Oh, I'm so
no.
sorry.
Oh, no, I've seen it, don't worry.
I
But,
just I ca
yeah.
how comes you never completed it?
Bethesda games are those games where I keep starting a new character. I get into it,
Right,
and then I
and
have
then
a
you just
long
yeah.
break, and I come back, and I'm like, "Oh, I don't know where I'm at. Let's just restart."
Yeah, no, I know what you mean, because 'cause
I
they're
think
kinda
4 was the only one I have completed.
but I think that's because 4 is, like, for all intents and purposes, a very, very linear open world game.
Yeah, I mean, the story was like in New Vegas, the side quests were all well written, where in
Yeah,
Fallout 4, some of them were a lot of them was just like, "Go grab this thing for me in a building." So
I
it pushed you towards the main quest more.
I think with New Vegas, it's like you, there's a mission I remember from New Vegas that's very mundane, but it's kinda cool. It's like you have to help these sharecroppers, um, sort out, like, their pipeline because their crops aren't getting enough,
Right.
like, water to them. Um, and you've got a choice. Like you can either, I think it's like you can help the wider community, but doom these farmers to like death, but you don't know the wider community
Right.
and you know the farmers, or you can help the
Yeah.
farmers, but then sort of doom everything in the long run.
Yeah.
And I like that kind. It's a very simple decision to make.
Mm.
It's one or the other, but I like that
It's
you
morally grey, and
yeah, you actually find some gravitas in it. Whereas with 4, it's like, do I want to be good or do I want to be bad?
well, it
I think
isn't. I
that's
think
it.
it's, do you want to be good or do you want to just be an asshole? Like, it's not even you're evil. You're just being an idiot to like
Well, yeah, because you
a
have a goal in the
nuisance.
end. That's the thing. The goal isn't
Yeah.
yours to like, you know, choose what to be.
And also, if you are evil, people just won't give you quest items, basically. So it's like, oh,
Yeah,
okay, well, there's no
I
reason to be bad.
and the thing is, I genuinely like some of the characters in Fallout 4.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm speaking as if I don't like it. I still
Oh,
really
no, no, no,
enjoy
yeah,
4.
like, it's just you can admit that there's things wrong with it, that's the
Mm.
thing. Like, Valentine, I love Valentine.
Yeah, he's a great character.
Um, who's the is it Kate? The Irish woman?
Yeah.
She's alright, and then, um, I think, like, Hancock is a decent character as well, the ghoul.
Mhm.
I'd have loved to have had him in, like, Fallout 4, Fallout New Vegas, sorry,
I think
because, like
New Vegas is just what Fallout can be at its
yeah,
best. Yeah, and so
but
that's sort of, yeah.
I think they should just take the IP off of Bethesda.
It will never happen, but
It will never happen, but,
yeah.
you can dream.
Yeah.
Um, I like the idea that there were modders working to put New Vegas in 4, weren't they?
They're still going.
I thought they got shut down.
Nope,
Oh,
still all
okay.
going.
Because I don't
Hang
know.
on, your beard's scratching on your
Hang on.
mic.
Uh, we back in.
Yeah, there's the mod for New Vegas. Well, it's a Fallout 4 mod that they're putting New Vegas in. Yeah, I've been keeping track of it for a while because it's exactly what I would want. Is basically a New Vegas remaster, and yeah, they're still going.
I genuinely thought that they got shut down.
Nope.
I thought
The one remaking Fallout 3 temporarily shut down because Bethesda was like, you can't use the voices in the game.
yeah,
But they're no, both of them are back up and running.
I, there was a, series on YouTube that I really enjoy watching called The Storyteller.
Mhm. Yeah, I know the one you're on about.
Really, really love that series, and the fact that they have some of the voice actors from it is really fun, and it shows you what, like, I think it's a decent gaming community there. Um,
Oh,
I
yeah,
think
I
that's
mean, the
what makes
lore
it.
surrounding the Fallout franchise is great, and 4 adds loads of great stuff.
But yeah, New Vegas, like, will always be a classic. It
Mhm.
definitely will be, and I think that it's one of them games where, like, I could pick it up in another 10 years, and I'll still have a great time with it.
Yeah, I mean, the shooting is probably the weakest part.
Yeah, it
It
is, but I think that you don't really you're not playing it to have it be a shoot 'em up,
well,
really.
because it's, yeah, the role-playing aspect is so strong with it
Yeah.
that you forgive it.
Um, but yeah, no, New Vegas is
Yes,
definitely a fun game.
definitely. So now, what is your number 4?
A game called Everybody's Gone to the Rapture.
Ah,
I don't know if you've played
interesting.
it.
I haven't, but I know of it. It
Uh,
is the
it
the
sorry, go on.
closest thing I think it's like is I've played The Vanishing of Ethan Carter. Do you
Yeah,
know that one?
I do, yeah.
Looking at it, I assumed it's like that.
I think it's by the same dev team, I think,
I'll check.
or is it not?
But anyway, yeah.
Yeah, Everybody's Gone to the Rapture, it's a walk-in simulator.
Yeah.
Um, it, you learn the story through. So, we were talking earlier about, like, you like visual storytelling.
Mhm.
You learn the story through, like, um, radio transmissions and, like, echoes.
Right.
These light. It's based in like this, really like picturesque English
Little
town,
village, isn't yeah.
little village, yeah. And it's you start out in just this little section of it, and you just work your way through, and there's these lights that have come down from the sky, and you don't know if they're aliens or if they're like some spirit thing or whatever. But
Mhm.
the whole town's just deserted,
Right.
and think, I think, as far as I can remember, I think you are playing as one of those things,
Hmm.
but you don't know it.
Right.
Um, but yeah, there isn't a lot to say about it. It's another one of those games where it was a very like nice experience,
Yeah,
and
I
it
I
kind of
assume it's quite short.
yeah. I
Or
think it's only about like 3 or so hours.
yeah.
Like I got it because I've got the PS Plus membership.
Mhm.
So I just downloaded it for free, and that it was it was fun. There was one thing that I remember from it very, very vividly, and that's you transition out of one scene and you come out of a church,
Right.
and you're walking through this part of the map, and there's this like twinkling, and you're like, oh, that's weird. So you pan the camera up and you look up, and the sky is just like it's full of stars. Now,
Mhm.
it sounds like a really basic thing
Yeah.
to find, you know, like, visually enticing, but because of the sort of mood that the game creates, you sort of, like, you're taken in and you're like, "Oh my god, that's really lovely.
Yeah.
That's really
I can
nice."
imagine it.
Um, and it's not very graphically impressive when you get up close, like, a lot of the textures pop in quite a lot.
Oh, really? I was gonna say it looks good, but
Um, you you're sort of best off kinda playing it from a distance, if that makes sense.
right. Yeah.
Um, yeah, and with it being a walking sim, there isn't a lot you can do. Like, there's a tiny bit of like platforming puzzle sort of
Right. You
based
gotta
thing.
know what you're playing.
Yeah,
Like, you can't go in thinking you're about to go on some adventure.
no, no, not at all. You're just going around looking at the story, basically. Like
Yeah.
it's like a walking museum. But it's yeah, I think you hit it on the head. If you know what you're playing, it's fun.
Yeah.
It's really really fun. Um, yeah, yeah. That's legitimately all I've got to say about that.
I mean, yeah, it's a
It's a
simple game,
simple
really.
game,
But
and
yeah.
I'd honestly, like, recommend it to anybody that has, like, I mean, everybody's got time on their hands now. Um, if you wanna kill 3, 4 hours
yeah.
and have a nice story and that, I'd definitely recommend playing that.
No, yeah, I'll definitely give it a go. And number 3,
Number 3. Number 3 for me is, Red Dead Redemption, the original one.
the original. Hmm.
The original one.
I've not played it, and I'm planning on playing it soon, so
I will not spoil it.
no
Um,
spoils.
I listened to the one you did with, Andrew,
Mhm.
and, he mentioned Red Dead 2.
Yes.
And I think he say something like, because you played Red Dead 2, haven't you? Or
Yeah,
you
I
are
just
playing it.
finished it.
You just
Mhm.
finished it. So you like I think you've played it the right way round now,
Right.
um, because yeah, it's like
It's a prequel.
it's a prequel. It's Red Dead Redemption, the original one. I say the original one, like, because there was obviously one before Red Dead Redemption. It was
Y
Red Dead Revolver,
yes.
which I actually played, and it was fun,
Mhm.
but it was fun at the time. I tried picking it up, and it's just not anymore.
Right, it hasn't aged well.
No, 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 not at all. I'm not sure. I'm not even sure it was like Rockstar. I don't think.
I don't think it was,
I
no.
think they picked up the IP. I'm not even sure it was like Take Two or anything.
Oh, no, it was Rockstar.
Oh, was it really?
Rockstar and Capcom.
Okay, that's a strange mix.
Yeah.
But yeah, Red Dead Redemption was like it got me into Western films.
Oh, right.
Um, like obviously I'm not as like into Western films as Andrew is.
Yeah.
Um, but it was like Western films had always been like uh, a big part of my family. Like my mum's, like, well, my granddad really used to love Western films, and then by proxy, my mum loved Western films.
Yeah.
And like she'd watch it, and then my stepdad also loves like Western films, like Tombstone and
Mhm.
stuff like that. And I'd sit there sometimes. I'd be like, it's a bit boring this. And then I played Red Dead, and I was like, oh, that's so good. Like the whole sort of playing as an outlaw is,
Yeah.
oh, it's beautiful. It's so nice. It's you're an outlaw with a conscience, and
Yeah, I mean,
that's a really cool thing.
it's Rockstar's storytelling, like we've already talked about,
Yeah,
but put into a Western, yeah.
it's just it's really really well done. Um, Characterizations are brilliant. What I will say is that if you've played Red Dead 2 and you're gonna go and play Red Dead 1,
Mhm.
you'll find some of the characters a little bit jarring
Okay.
because there is obviously, a bit of crossover.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, you'll find them a tiny bit jarring because there was so much thought and effort put into Red Dead 2,
Right.
and I don't think that they knew that the
Mm,
original
the
Red Dead.
backstory of those
Yeah.
characters. Yeah, okay.
Um, so there's a tiny bit of underdevelopment, but it's still good. It's still quite a nice game to play.
Yeah.
Um, I think there's one thing that makes me laugh all the time, and that so Arthur can swim.
Yeah.
Had you tried getting John to swim?
Mhm.
Yeah, he can't swim.
Oh, can you not?
He can't, and like
So I guess that's a thing from the first game.
that's the thing from the first game. Um,
That's nice.
it's just it's just a silly little detail that I was, like, really impressed for some reason that they'd put in
Yeah.
the Red Dead 2 because it's a bit of continuity.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, the map size is good. Um, the the characters are very good. The gameplay is amazing as far as I remember it, because it's on PS Now, like the subscription service
Right.
for PlayStation, and I am tempted to get it and replay it, but I'm not sure because I don't know if I go back to
Wanna
playing it
ruin it.
and it'll ruin it for me because it's not Red Dead 2.
I mean, their streaming service, unless you got a good internet as well, it's a little
Oh yeah, yeah.
iffy.
I've tried playing like a few like I've tried playing like the Force Unleashed games,
Yeah.
and it's not good at all.
Right.
So I might stay away from that and just keep it as a really fond memory.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a fun game. I genuinely think you'll have like a really good time playing it because if you like the character of John
Which, yeah, I
already,
definitely did.
you'll love him even more.
So how come this one over the second?
Purely because it was what made me enjoy westerns.
Alright,
Um,
yeah. I mean, it can be nostalgia if that's yeah.
it was I think a lot of my, like, love of games is based around nostalgia. Like, I think
Fair
that's
enough.
what this list has sort of kinda showed me, like, it's been an eye opener for me that but yeah, it got me into westerns, um, and it was just sort of unlike any other game at the time.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I mean, open world western just
well,
wasn't a thing.
there were other westerns, out of the I think there was, Call of Juarez.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
like
that was a first person,
mhm.
uh, just wasn't very good. I think I played through one of them.
I think Call of I think
I
it
know
did well.
I think there was, like, one of them called The Cartel, which was
I think the
just
first one was really good. Um,
I genuinely can't
Gunslinger.
remember. Gunslinger.
Yeah, they're
Was it
pretty
was
high.
there was there an MMO that was based in the West? I can't remember.
There have been ones. I mean, there's kind of a recent one, but apparently it was like terrible.
I
Um,
just I can just remember watching, like, gameplay,
and
videos
a
of it.
Wild
Maybe
West Online was that one? That sounds like one.
sounds like one, yeah. Um, but yeah, it was Yeah, Red Dead, like the OG Red Dead was fun.
Yeah.
As I said, it was like unlike anything else that had been out at the time.
Mm.
And I have very fond memories of playing it. It was what, I think 2010 or 2012?
Um, no, definitely not 2012.
I wanna say
If GTA
2010
f if GTA 5 was
was
2013,
2013. I wanna say 2010.
um, it keeps showing 2. 2010.
2010. So yeah, for a 10-year-old game, like, it just sort of shows that, good writing is a bit timeless, do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I think
I mean, it's the same year as, Mass Effect 2.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think they kind of those games from that time sort of live on their own, uh,
Mhm.
because they kinda just break the mold a little bit, which is really fun. I mean, Massive like with Mass Effect 2, it could have been just another sci-fi, shoot 'em up, but
Yeah.
it wasn't. Red Dead could have been a generic open world game, but it wasn't, and I think Rockstar's game design is just so next level. I think
It's so fun,
yeah,
like,
and that their
even if
world's
some
still lived in.
parts yeah. Oh, yeah, the worlds are amazing.
Like, they're so immersive in certain parts. They've gotten better as time has gone on as well.
I mean, the world of Red Dead 2 is incredible. I mean, the
Oh, it's
detail.
amazing. The fact that the horse's balls shrink is amazing.
Someone had to code that, yeah.
Yeah, somebody had to code that. So they gave it to the work experience kid. But, um but yeah, again, like, as I said with, like, other games on the list, like, if you're gonna be playing it, I'd definitely say you're gonna have a good time.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Um, just I guess make sure you know that it was made a long time before Red Dead 2 as
Yeah,
well.
I mean, yeah, I
It
definitely
does feel a bit clunky.
I won't let that impact my like, how I feel about it.
Yeah, cool.
Alright, so the last 2.
Last 2.
Number 2.
Number 2, uh, is Battlefront 2, and controversially, it's not the original Battlefront 2, it's EA's Battlefront 2.
Now, the original Battlefront 2 is one of my favorite games
Yeah.
from my childhood, so tell me why this new one
Right.
gets it.
It's not better than the original Battlefront 2.
Mhm.
It's not. The original Battlefront 2 is one of my favorite games of all time. I have very fond memories of playing it. Um, the reason that I've put the EA's Battlefront 2
Yeah.
on here, as I said before, when I was little, I didn't have the ability to play online.
Yeah.
So my OG Battlefront 2 experience was based around the campaign that they'd put together, which was just, was a bit thrown together.
And then the
Um,
amazing, what was it, instant action
instant
with all
action.
the AI was great.
Um, but the new Battlefront 2,
Mhm.
I it's what got me back into. I used to play a lot of online stuff, and then it got annoying and boring, and that's just a cover for saying that I wasn't very good. Um,
Yeah.
uh, I bought. I used to have Battlefront 2, but the launch of it was horrific.
Yes.
It was a horrible game by a horrible company that was
And
just there to make money.
I think everyone would admit that they completely turned it around.
They did. So I bought this. They released the Celebration Edition,
Mhm.
and I bought the Celebration Edition maybe
Oh,
in the end of
so
December.
you're quite new to it?
Yeah, so I used to play it a lot,
Oh, okay.
but it was grindy and it was getting on my nerves because it wasn't a game that I really wanted to grind at because
Yeah.
it just wasn't very rewarding. Like, I think you had to get like 10,000 credits or something to buy a Darth Vader skin or to play as Darth Vader, and somebody did the maths.
Oh, yeah, there's a famous Reddit comment
Yeah, and
and where the
you'd
yeah.
have to play like 40 hours to play, to get the opportunity to play as one character or something like that.
Yeah.
And I think, don't they have like the most downvoted comment in Reddit history or
Mhm.
something like that?
Uh, eh, the loot boxes give you a sense of pride and accomplishment.
That was it. Yeah, horrific. They should jump out of a window. Um, I bought the Celebration Edition sometime in December
Mhm.
of last year because I just I unsubscribed from PlayStation Plus, and obviously
Yeah.
with PlayStation Plus, that's the only way that you can play online. Uh, Christmas came around, student loan went in, and I was like, "Hey, I'm
I'm
rich,
rich.
and I'm gonna spend £50 on the PlayStation Plus membership."
Of
That no,
course.
actually, I think it had gone down. It was like £30. I was like, "That's mine for a year."
Oh, well, you gotta get it.
And then it was like 22 or so pounds for the Celebration Edition,
Mhm.
and that obviously gives you all the skins from the previous 2 years.
Yeah.
I started playing it, it was fun. I found out that my best mate had it, that I didn't know that he had it because we obviously hadn't played online for a very long time together.
Right.
Um, Found out that he had it, and it's gone from there, and it's genuinely been fun. And I've really, really enjoyed it. And I'm very sad that the last update,
Mhm.
the Battle of Scarif update, is the last update that they're going to have.
Yeah, they announced it a few days ago.
And I'm very, very upset. And also played through the Battle of Scarif update, and it's not very fun either.
Oh, damn.
It's very lackluster because everybody wanted the Scarif map.
Yeah, I can't tell if because I think they had a contract to make 3 Battlefront games, but I know the
Right.
team's moving on to Battlefield now.
Yeah, like because
So,
they've obviously ended Battlefield 5 support for Battlefield 5 and that,
yeah.
and
I
they
mean, you
didn't
can't
say.
ignore that every update has been free.
No,
So
no, not at all. Over the
so it
last few years, it's
yeah.
been like that's what I was saying about, I don't know if you remember about 10 hours ago when we were on, like, the first the first game in the list.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
I said, like, rather than releasing new games,
Mhm.
stick to one game and
Right,
just
yeah.
patch it, and that's what Battlefront did, and the CTs, the community transmissions from the dev team have been amazing, and they are so engrossed in, like, the player base.
Yeah.
And
It
I sorry, carry on, man.
Oh, no, I was just saying it definitely feels like it was EA saying, "We're pulling the plug on this," and
Yeah.
not the team.
I mean, yeah, the team, like, you gotta give props to the team because I mean, since this whole thing started, um, 'cause you're not allowed to say the name of the thing that's going on at the minute, I've heard on YouTube.
Huh?
Um, Apparently
Oh, okay, yeah, the,
yeah, apparently you get demonetized.
yeah, good shout. The
The
current, uh,
the
coughing bad
the big cough
deaf
yeah, the big bad cough,
Mhm,
yeah, it forced everybody to, the dev team to move home and work from home,
right.
and they still managed to push out an update, and I find that amazing. So, like, yeah, it's a lackluster update, but props to them, 100%.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I'm just sad that it's ending because it was for. I mean, what month are we in now? We're in.
Who knows?
I've lost track. We're in May apparently. January,
What?
February, March, April, May.
Since when?
Jesus Christ. Yeah, for the 5 months that I played it, I played it nonstop. I got sweaty at it, and yeah, it's just been genuinely
Yeah,
fun.
I'm honestly not judging you because I agree it is a good game now. On
Yeah.
release,
Oh,
the
it was terrible.
so when the first new Battlefront was announced, I
Yeah.
was so excited, and I think it's my biggest disappointment of a game ever because it released and I thought it was pretty
It
terrible.
didn't deserve the name,
But yeah, and
you
then
know?
this one came along and I was like, "Maybe they'll
Maybe they'll turn it
improve."
around, yeah.
And obviously it released and again, no. But finally they're getting there, which
It's
makes
just
me think 3rd time lucky?
it's just annoying that they've getting to that point and then they're going, "No, no, no, we're done." And you're like, "No, you're not. I
Yeah.
will pay for updates. Just carry on."
It's like the game as it is now is really good and worth getting, but it could be more.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think I enjoy Battlefront over Fallen Order. I think
Yeah,
I genuinely think Fallen Order was boring.
I haven't played it yet, but yeah, I don't know. I won't judge on it yet.
From my experience of playing Fallen Order, it was boring, and at least with I mean, did you play the new the Battlefront 2
Yes,
campaign? What did you think of it?
it was all right. I mean,
It's
I
not
didn't.
memorable.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it felt like a Battlefield campaign where they
Yeah,
just like, here's a campaign.
it was there because it had to be.
It had its moments. It was very short. Yeah, it was fine.
I think that had they sort of worked with the people that had worked on like the Force Unleashed
Oh,
campaign
if
and
only.
stuff like that, I oh god, that would have been their game. Um, yeah, I just there it's not a perfect game at all, but as I said, it's what got me back into online gaming, and
Yeah,
there's just a special place for it in my heart.
fair
And
enough.
yeah, I just love it. I do love
All right. And finally, after the 10 hours, as we said,
it. How long
we
have we been
come.
going on for?
My recording. I mean, the podcast might be a bit shorter than this, but it's at 1 hour 50 minutes.
Jesus Christ, I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. It's good. So yeah, number one,
Number one will come a bit left of field.
Spore.
It's Spore. No, it's it's Tales from the Borderlands.
I can't believe it because that's one of my favorite games, and I've never known anyone else who agrees with me. So I'm so happy right now. Go
It's
ahead.
just so I never played any of the Telltale games because like The Walking Dead was a big Telltale game. Like, it was a big game and it was by
That was
Telltale,
my
and
first one, and I still love that one. Yeah.
I never played it. I'm not the biggest fan of like zombies, and
Really?
I don't watch Walking Dead. Like,
I'd give it a go. Was all I'm
yeah,
saying. All I'll say is if the first season, definitely give a go.
I might on your recommendation, I might.
Mhm.
And then there was what was it? Was it The Wolf Among Us? That was another
That
Telltale
was
game.
good as well. Yeah.
That was a good game. Tales from the Borderlands,
Mhm.
genuinely, it's like
It's one of the funniest games, I think.
yeah, and I think that's what matters. It was enjoyable. It was just flat out enjoyable.
Yeah.
Um, I can't. It has one of the best soundtracks of any game.
Mhm. Yep.
It's like people think that like from like films you've got like Guardians of the Galaxy. They think that's like a brilliant sort of
Right.
thrown together soundtrack. I think Tales from the Borderlands beats that in terms
Each
of like being
episode
thrown together.
has a
It's
song
got
that I
it's yeah
now listen to.
yeah that's the thing. Like uh Cage the Elephant, Ain't No Rest for the Wicked.
Yeah, from the first game.
Amazing, amazing. Uh, you've got, Back to the Top, whoa. That's another song. Can't remember what the name of it is,
I
but
mean,
I've
the
got
Cage the Elephant one was from the Borderlands 1, the actual Borderlands game.
oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, was it? I swear it was they put in Tales from the Borderlands, though.
Nope.
Did they not?
Um,
How is that oh, I've just embarrassed myself. Hang on, because 'cause I've got
but
this
no, so Tales from the Borderlands had Busy Earning by
yeah, too
Jungle.
busy on it.
Yep. Um, First Aid Kit, My Silver Linings,
Kiss the Sky,
Kiss the Sky, that was a good one.
Pieces of
Retrograde.
the People.
Mhm.
Um, to
Yeah.
the Top, Car Fire on the Highway.
Yeah, it's all great stuff.
Oh, my bad. Genuinely thought that Cage the Elephant was in the game.
Mm.
Uh, but yeah, it's got an amazing soundtrack. As
So
you
have you
said,
played Borderlands?
I have played
Uh,
Borderlands, yeah.
what about 2? Because that's the one it comes after
Uh,
with Handsome Jack.
Handsome Jack, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I take pride in that.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, I have. I didn't. I didn't mind the Borderlands games.
Mhm.
They just weren't my cup of tea.
Fair enough.
Um, I do like narrative games.
Yeah.
Um, and I think that Tales from the Borderlands was extremely well written,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I think that they just they just hit it out the park because I
The
cared about the
characters are
characters.
amazing.
I genuinely cared about the characters.
Reese is one of my favorite characters in anything ever.
I thought they were gonna, like, make him like a sort of Ryan Reynolds type, if you get my meaning. Like, kinda, you
Yeah,
know,
I get it. He looks it.
but he's kind of his own thing, and then my one of my favorite things of all, and it's not necessarily a twist because there's a part of you that sees it coming,
Mhm.
but but the fact that you've been captured, and then when the kidnapper takes his thing off,
Reveals who they are.
and they reveal who they are, I'm like, "Oh my god!"
It was one of the best plot twists
Yeah.
ever. I couldn't believe it.
I was
Like,
like, "Jesus Christ, that's amazing."
and it's
Like,
so
I'm
dumb, but it's so good
yeah,
smart as
it
well.
shouldn't work. That's
Yeah.
the thing. And my all-time favorite memory from that game, and, say what yours is, because I wanna see if it matches up.
My
If you've
favorite
got
moment.
yeah, because I wanna see if it matches up.
I mean, the finger gun was pretty good.
Yeah, there we go. That's
Yeah,
it. That's it. Because it's
it's
so serious.
you can't believe what's happening when you play it
Yeah.
for the first time.
I have never smiled so much playing a game.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, there's no gameplay to it, it's all timing
Yeah,
and stuff, and
yeah.
exploration and that within the confines of a Telltale game, but yeah, I've got such a
It's the
it's got, like
charm of the Borderlands world with
with
Telltale's
Telltale
writing.
storytelling, yeah,
Yeah.
and it's just I think it's a perfect mix, and I think
Mhm.
it's I enjoy the game, and I think it's what a lot of games recently have not been, and that's fun,
Yeah.
um, and, like, as I think has been kinda evident from the rest of the list is that I'm not the biggest fan of, like, multiplayer games,
Other
um,
than what well, Battlefield.
other than Battlefront, yeah, like,
Battlefront, I mean. Yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
it's because I think, as I said, like, when I was growing up, didn't have access to the internet and that,
Mhm.
so I will always like narrative games over multiplayer games, and because there's been such a shift to multiplayer now, um,
Yeah.
like with Fortnite and, and like Warzone and stuff and Battle Royale, I'm sick of it. I'm genuinely tired of it. Um, the fact that there's a narrative-driven single player experience is so nice, and I love it.
It's almost a hidden gem because out
Not many
out
people know about it.
yeah, and plus out of Telltale's games, it's definitely one of their lesser sold ones.
Yeah, because what else they've done Wolfenstein. They did Guardians of the Galaxy, didn't they?
I haven't tried that one, but yeah, they did a
They
Game
did
of
Game of
Thrones,
Thrones, Batman as well.
and Batman's probably the second biggest for them.
But, I hate that people would probably know, like, Life is Strange over Tales from the Borderlands.
Yeah,
It's of the same ilk, do you know what I mean?
the it's like, if you only like Telltale games and haven't played Borderlands, then you probably won't wanna play it.
Yeah,
But if you've only played Borderlands and you're like, "Well, I like fast-paced shooters, I don't wanna play
you're not
this."
gonna play it.
So it is a very niche audience,
Yeah, 100%. And
but it nails it.
I like that I think I like that not many people know about it
It's
because,
special.
yeah, it makes me feel special. So do you not get that a little bit? Like, you've got this thing that you know about that not a lot of other people know about?
Part of me, I agree, and then part of me is annoyed that whenever I recommend it to people, no one ever plays it.
Yeah, yeah, I get that. I do get that. I think it's annoying that you can't really talk to many people about it either.
Yeah.
Um, but it's no, I play it, like, I replay it all the time,
Mhm.
and I never get bored of the story. And I think the one word to define it is fun, and
Yeah.
it's what you don't get from a lot of games now. So yeah, Tales from the
I mean,
Borderlands is like
the 4th game, when at the start, when you get on the rocket, and
Yeah.
go, it's just so like
Oh, I was like, it's the closest that a game's ever got to like got me to crying.
really.
Yeah, Tales from the Borderlands is just
Travel
fun.
Borderlands.
I love it.
Yeah, I completely agree.
I love it, and I'm so glad that I'm not the only one.
Yeah. All right. Well, that is quite a mix, but a lot. I agree with a lot of it. Well, I agree with your list. I don't. You don't need my validation, but yeah.
Oh, I appreciate the validation. It makes me
Yeah.
feel great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just it sort of told me a lot about the games that I like as well, if that
You,
makes sense. Because 'cause I've
you
never had
learned
to,
a
like,
bit
write
about
them down.
yourself.
I learned a bit about myself because 'cause I've never written them down before, and it was difficult to make, like, when we spoke about doing the podcast and that, I was like,
Mm,
"Oh god," it was, like, 2 o'clock in
it's
the morning,
easy.
I was like, "I'm gonna, like, write this out really quick," and then I'm like, "No," it took me about I was up until about 6 in the morning trying to figure out which ones I wanted in the
Sorry.
list.
Yeah. It's always good to hear. Like I've heard that with everyone. Where like, oh, I didn't actually expect to put this on my list, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, my first pick, it was between, World at War and Darksiders 2, so
Mm,
that's a
just
different
chuck
mix
that
of
one
games.
in
But yeah, yeah,
there.
I'm glad I've had this experience.
Yeah. Well, is there anything you'd like to plug?
I'd love to plug my YouTube channel because
Go
I'm
ahead.
rising up in the world. So, my, YouTube channel is JCAR Media, JCAR Media, and, it's better if you just search that as all one word because for some reason YouTube's got this problem with that search where it doesn't show my channel.
Right.
And I've got a video coming out, another video coming out very soon, and I'm trying to keep to a regular schedule.
Look
And
for the guy with the big beard, and then you'll
guy with the big beard. And yeah, and I'd love to have you on it sometime talking
yeah,
about something.
that'd be great.
Do a little collab.
Yeah, thanks. And, yeah, check me out at twitch.tv/dropped ice cream for where I'm playing Mass Effect 2 at the moment, and then Mass Effect 3, so that's been fun.
Such a beautiful, beautiful face to look at.
And I was about to say I have a podcast, but I'm literally doing it right now, so listen to it on YouTube, Spotify, and, Apple Podcasts are being a pain in the ass, so who knows what's happening with that.
Who needs Apple?
Who needs 'em? So, yeah, thank you for coming on.
Thanks a lot, man. I've really enjoyed this.
Yeah, and, fare you well.
In a bit.